You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, this is Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Welcome to the big show, my family and friends. We really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Without this show, what would we have? We'd just be sitting around talking to each other, looking at the wall. But you've been with us for 14 years, 1,400 episodes. Make sure you go see all the stuff we're producing nowadays. It's 2 to 3 episodes a day, or a weekday, I should say. We do get the weekends off. Our slave masters allow us to have the weekend off. But then the rest of the time they put us to the whip. It's one of those things that you do when we're just trying to put out good content for everybody, make people happy, make people excited, educate people so that we can have the smartest audience in the world. As always, have your friends, neighbors, relatives go to youtube.com/Chris Voss, goodreads.com/Chris Voss, and all those crazy places on the internet. Today we have an amazing woman on the show. She's the author of the newest book that just came out, November 23rd, 2022, and the book is entitled Ocean, and she's going to be talking to us about her book of poetry. So we're going to be learning a lot about that and kind of getting some beautiful sort of semblance, sort of esoteric, some thinking, higher-minded thinking, if you will. And Anastasia Lindsey is on the show with us today. She is a timeless soul and author who participates in interdimensional traveling and building beautiful poems to capture the hearts and souls of the world in the most loving and supportive ways possible. Because violence is not the way to go, folks. Don't wake up and choose violence like I do every morning. She's a humble writer and was born and raised in the small town of Illinois, where she currently resides in a beautiful, cozy, small house in a patch of land with a lover of life, Dakota. Anastasia has been writing since grade school and has always used empathy, pain, and most importantly, love as her muse to write poems and help heal. Although an author, she is also an owner of a small business, Summer Solace Holistic Healing and Poetry, where she uses different modalities to help others heal, including, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, Reiki, okay, meditation, sound healing, hypnosis. I clearly need some, and has recently started a journey into shamanism. There you go. Just one of those think there couldn't be anything more possible. She enjoys painting, drawing, crafting, singing, and even auditioned for The Voice in 2017. Welcome to the show, Anastasia. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. How are you?
I am excellent, and it's wonderful to have you on the show. Clearly, I need some more holistic brain healing.
That's okay.
So you will have some information on that for us today. So give us a .com. Where do you want people to see you on the interwebs?
Absolutely. So my website is summersolacehealing.com. Summer as in the season. Solace, SOLACE, healing.com.
There you go. And tell us a little bit about your life journey. I mean, what got you into a lot of this stuff, poetry and holistic natures?
Yeah, so I've always been a deep soul from ever since I can remember, and longing for healing, because we all grow up and we need healing in some sort of form. And I knew that we all have the power to heal ourselves. But oftentimes we forget, or we were never taught, but the innate power is already within you. And I knew that. And I was like, I want to help people do that as well. I want people to tap into their own power, heal yourselves. Your body is always speaking to you, giving you messages and signals. And I listen to my body, and I want others to do the same. I want others to feel okay with being vulnerable, tapping into your emotions, your sensitivity. So that's why I'm here on this earth, just to change the world, to make the world a beautiful place to live in.
There you go. Now, I mentioned in the bio that you do what is it, intercontinental?
Interdimensional traveling.
Oh, I
Yeah.
do intercontinental, but interdimensional.
Same thing.
What,
Traveling.
what is that, and how does that work?
Yeah, so a lot of times what I like to do is travel throughout my mind
Mm,
through meditation, visualization, but also doing things like astral traveling. So, where you can
mm,
travel to other places and
hmm.
your dreams, they're always delivering messages to you. So, I like to interpret dreams just to see what was that about? What's going on in my life
What's going
right
on with that?
now? Yeah, that I could apply that to. So, I have a very vivid imagination.
Mhm. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
The mind is a crazy place to go. I do a lot of interpersonality travel with my mind, which means
Yeah.
I have about 8 different personalities. There's the one that says kill, kill, kill all the time. The judge and parole agent say can't use anymore until that's resolved. But but yeah, I let my personalities fight amongst themselves, and whoever comes out on top wins. Fortunately, the same one shows up every day for an hour. But that's the
Yeah.
medication speaking, and the lithium.
Right.
Anyway, so what motivated you want to write this book?
Yeah, so I am a storyteller. I'm a visionary. I've always kept my stories to myself just out of fear of, oh, will people like my story? Will they want to hear my story? Will they even read my story?
Hmm.
But I had to get out of my own way and show up in the world because now more than ever, storytelling is needed. We need to share our truths with other people. We need to bare our souls to other people because that creates connection. And in a world where we felt very disconnected for a while, I want to bring connection back. And I knew that writing Ocean was going to be my way to connect with the world, no matter where you were or no matter where I was.
Yeah, and it's a great way to inspire other people, and help kind of be a lifter, if you will.
Yeah.
So, talk to us about what are some of the subjects of your poems that are in this book?
So, Ocean is very healing in so many ways, and it's split up into 4 different sections.
Hmm.
So, the first one is Deep Waters, and the poems in there are very deep in nature, very sad. I'm speaking about my trauma,
Hmm.
past heartbreak, pain. I'm diving deep in those
Hmm.
poems. And then we move on to Waiting, Wading. And
Okay.
it's just that in between stage where things are kind of getting okay, but I'm still occurring some of the trauma that I have been through. So it's just that period of in between where things are okay, things are getting better, but I'm still reliving a few things.
Hmm.
And then it takes us to the shore. When then you think about being on the shore, the beach, and on your the sand on your toes, the water, the waves, hearing the birds. It's all things love, and it's peaceful and it's calming. So those poems are very love filled, love for self, love for others, love for the
Hmm.
world. And then it brings us to Sandcastles. And Sandcastles is very playful in nature. The poems are very light and easy. And it's also a forecast of my other book that I'm writing right now. So it gives readers like a little snippet of what's to come.
There you go. Well, I love the whole ocean. Is motif a great word to describe it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the whole ocean thing because I love oceans, and there's something peaceful and meditating about them.
Me
When I used
too.
to live in California, and I would have a hill of beans or problems or whatever was weighing down, and you're like, oh God, I don't know, I ate Taco Bell and I'm uncomfortable now. I would go down to the ocean, and man, you sit down there for about a half an hour, and you're just like, all my problems don't mount to a hill of beans for the eons of time this ocean has been lapping up against the sand here, and
Yeah.
it's going to be here eons of time after I'm gone, and between it and I, it's just sitting there, probably just going, "Silly human, you're
Right.
stupid
If only you
problems."
knew.
If only you knew, like nothing,
Yeah.
none of this is going to matter soon,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I would kind of the grandeur of it and the expanse of it would make me just realize how small my problems were and put them in perspective. And I would usually come home feeling peaceful.
Yeah,
And so, yeah,
absolutely.
the ocean is a great metaphor, I guess,
Yeah,
for this sort of stuff.
absolutely. Yeah, I wanted life comes in waves.
Hmm.
Things are great and we're doing awesome and everything is great. And then sometimes they're not. And that's okay, because we know that with every high there comes a low, but nothing lasts forever. That
Hmm.
low that you're in does not last forever. And I'm always calm when I go to the ocean. But I know that deep down in the ocean, there are scary things. But that's kind of where deep waters came from. Like, that
Yeah.
pain was scary.
Yeah.
But also being on the shore brings me peace.
Yeah. Because there's no scary things down. Well, there are scary things on the shore. Usually those are other human beings, but that's another story.
you know?
I've seen those people.
Me too.
So, do you want to give us a reading of maybe a poem or two?
Sure, absolutely.
Sure.
I'd love that. So this is a poem that is in the part The Shore.
Mm.
I have a deeper understanding of my place in this world now more than ever. I feel deeply called to shine my light in all ways possible, being my own alarm clock, rolling out of bed on my own time, sipping crisp water, opening the curtains, inviting the sun into my home, sitting on the floor, allowing the rays to fill my cup, mantras, affirmations, and meditation, gratitude for the present moment, ready to offer my services to those longing for healing, reading poetry, sipping black tea, painting murals and eating fresh fruit, cultivating acres of garden and making spicy salsa from homegrown tomatoes, healing, growing, and learning, loving who I am now, forgiving who I once was, and building the woman I will be. I am happy to be here.
Wow, that's refreshingly beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
I love the imagery that it plays. So it will give us a little bit of audience.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, usually my
Thank
poems
you.
are just like I said before. If it's the other, it's the film's person, I just kill, kill, kill. So that's bad.
That's okay. To each their own.
It's not a very beautiful poem, though.
I can't judge.
There you go. And so a lot of the stuff you said there just brought a light and the scenery to my mind and the imagery
Yeah.
that painted the picture there. And do you find that a lot of people, this helps a lot of people to sit and meditate and write poems or listen to poems?
Absolutely. Poetry heals. It heals me. Every time I write a poem, I'm healing a part of myself.
Hmm.
Healing is the journey, it's not a destination. So we're going to constantly be healing from things that have happened to us or will happen to us. But the main thing is to be present within your own body, to process your emotions, to not let them take over you. You could just have to be an observer of your thoughts. So meditation is similar. Writing poetry is similar. You're present with yourself or what's happening around you, and you're not letting the outside world take over you or invade your space. And so poetry really helps me to ground myself and to listen to what my body is saying, to listen to my thoughts and my feelings and emotions. And it gives people the freedom to do the same.
There you go. I like that. You know,
Thank you.
I recently started doing something and I just kind of made it up. But I've been hearing about, people sitting out in the sun in the morning when you have your coffee to start your circadian rhythms
Mhm.
and also get vitamin D. So you go out there
Yeah.
you have your coffee in the morning, 10 minutes. And I also had a thing where I love my dogs. I've got two huskies. And I just always feel guilty, like I never spend enough time with them, and I'm always
Yes.
pushing, and they have like $500 budgets for dog treats and toys and stuff. So I'm one of those people that I eat very healthy as much as I can, and so a lot of my stuff is vegetables and salads and
Yeah.
stuff. And so usually when I go through the conveyor belt there at the store, it's like the most expensive items are usually dog treats and stuff. People are like,
Yes.
"Are you eating this? Like, what's going on?" And so I never seem to spend enough time with them, and they love it when I go outdoors because they're huskies. They want to run around the yard. They want
Yes,
dad
they
to throw the
do.
ball. And then I study Stoicism. I keep off the side of my computer here, actually on the speaker,
Hmm.
books of Stoicism, Seneca, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and I think Epictetus. And um, so I'm trying to always surround myself with this, but you get lost in the thing. You wake up in the
Yes.
morning, and I got emails of people going, "Hey, I need this, and I need that, and I need this," and I wake up, the dog's got their thing going on, and I'm just trying to get a coffee and not murder anybody with a kill, kill, kill
Kill, kill,
personality,
kill.
because until you have that coffee, anything could go wrong. And so I kind of, this kind of all fell together for me. And I
Yeah.
started about 4 days ago doing what I call my morning centering.
Okay.
And it's kind of been interesting for me. So I go out and I sit in the sun for 15 minutes. I have my coffee. I'm spending 15 minutes with the dogs. So they're running around me. They're having a great time.
Yeah.
I just pick random selections out of Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, anything from Stoicism, because I'm really into that. But
Hmm.
you can do this with your poems and things like that. And I
Absolutely.
just kind of go out there. I have my coffee, absorb my vitamin D or create it, spend time with my dogs, and then sometimes I'll read the Stoicism, but sometimes just kind of ponder things.
Yeah,
Just kind of enjoy
absolutely.
the environment. Then I'm out there in the beautiful leaves and stuff. And then one of the other problems they have is as soon as I fire up my computer, it's all sorts of, this, that, and the other. We need this. Get us this link. Get us, whatever. Who's doing what?
Yeah.
Email. And you just feel like you're just kind of like ripped and pulled. So I started doing a thing where I play solo piano music when I first fire up my computer.
Okay.
And I do that for about 10 or 15 minutes as we're starting to get everything going and all the computers are operating. And it's really giving me the center that I really feel like a frame where I am in control of my day.
Yes.
And I've set the tone for my day, and I've kind of put my soul and my peace and everything at ease. And then everything has to come to me now,
Hmm.
because now I'm
Absolutely.
not being pulled in 50 different directions. I got my arm being ripped off here. So
Yeah.
kind of long, but yeah, it's kind of a weird meditative process maybe I'm using. I don't know.
Absolutely. There's so many forms of meditation. Some people go and they quiet their mind and they quiet their thoughts. Other people, it's just going outside and experiencing how the sun feels on you, or
Yeah.
admiring that tree across the way. Because all meditation is being present and aware of what's going
Oh,
on right in this moment. It's not thinking about the email that you should have sent or the phone call that you should have made yesterday. It's just being right here, right now. And so, what you do is a form of meditation. There's so many ways to meditate.
there you go. And being
Yeah,
present. I mean, I just made a note here that I need to add that to my list. And I have like
yeah,
this little map out of what I'm doing. And yeah, it just really helps me be present, and it kind of grounds me. It,
absolutely.
so good stuff there.
That's really, yeah, thank you for sharing that.
I just kind of made it up like 4 days ago. I was like, I'm gonna go start sitting out with the coffee and get the vitamin D thing, because I'm having
Yeah,
trouble sleeping, and so I'm like, it'll get my circadian rhythm going,
yeah.
and that way. And I've actually been tired at night. I've actually been
Hmm.
feeling a lot better. You
That's
know,
really good.
so it's pretty good. What are some other ways you find you're helping people? We mentioned a few of the in your bio,
Yeah.
some of the different variations that you use. So there's the one word I couldn't do,
Reiki.
Reiki. What is? Tell
Reiki.
us about Reiki and give us some more depth
Yeah.
on that.
So Reiki is energy healing.
Mm,
It's the universal life force energy. Everything around us
mm-hmm,
is energy. I'm just the channel, I'm the conduit. I take that energy, which is very healing in nature. So I
mm,
usually place my hands on the client. I'll
mm-hmm,
go around their body. I'll place my hands on them and I will channel that healing energy. So it will just come through me onto the client, and it heals a wide range of things from anxiety,
mm-hmm,
depression, to physical pain, spiritual, mental, emotional. I have a lot of my clients that come for Reiki, it's just because they long for peace.
mm-hmm.
And when they receive that healing Reiki energy, they're very calm, they're very centered. If you think about your desired state of being, most people will say, I just want to be calm and happy. That's what Reiki does. It makes you calm and happy, and it allows you to be at one with yourself where you feel peaceful. There's no stress. There's no anxiety. There's no worry. You're just sitting there and you're relaxing and it feels like warmth, like if you're being covered with a warm blanket.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Reiki is.
I think there's some science behind it too. We had a neurologist on the other week, and he talked about how human touch is so important to firing off, like dopamine and serotonin channels in our brain.
Yeah.
And even shaking hands or giving someone a hug or just holding hands or just kind of patting someone on the back, those fire off different neurological neurons in our brain that kind of help us, and we kind of need that, especially nowadays where no one really hugs each other. During COVID, no one could touch each other. All just stay 6 feet away from each other. Mine was mostly restraining orders, but that's another story.
That's another story.
That's from the kill volume. But I'm sure I'll be found innocent of whatever. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great joke to pull from the callback. But and so human touch, even like the neurologists even talked about how these 2D screens aren't good for us, and we're not used to this. We're used to having 3-dimensional interactions where we sit across from somebody and have a meal and talk, and that neurologically and probably energy wise helps us as well.
Absolutely. I can definitely attest to that. And it's one of those things too where even if someone doesn't agree that it's a human need, I think that deep down inside, if we could rewrite their story, that they would ultimately see that human touch is basically another human need in some shape or form. I wholeheartedly agree that if I never received touch from family or friends anymore, it would be a pretty lonely life for me.
That's true. I have some family and friends though I could avoid getting touch from because
boundaries are important.
Boundaries are important. When you have an ultra religious family, you have to have some boundaries. So there you go.
Yeah. That's okay.
Especially you're an atheist and they do whatever they're doing, worshiping the cult sun or whatever.
Right.
Have fun with that, people. Keep away from me. I don't want to get pulled in. When the aliens come, I'll work it out with them. Don't worry about it. So there you go. Sound healing. Tell us about what sound healing is. I think I might. Is that where you do the ring things? You go. Ooh,
the crystal singing bowls.
I used to do that when I used to drink wine. I do the crystal thing, but that's kind of not quite as.
I'll let you keep that.
Sure,
I'll let you. So they're crystal sound singing bowls. There's a lot of instruments out there. Like there's not just crystal singing bowls, but there's chimes. There's all kinds of things. But the most important thing to know is that our bodies respond to energy, to vibration, and to sound. If you think about your favorite song, like it's Friday night, maybe you're about to go out, you turn on your favorite song, what does it do for you? It gets you excited. It gets you pumped up and ready to go. And likewise for a sad song, if you listen to a song and someone's singing about losing their partner, you're going to probably feel sad. You're not going to want to go party at the bar. Maybe that's what you do to cope from that sad song. But ultimately, it's you respond to the sounds that you hear. And that's what sound healing is. So they all have their own frequency, their own vibration, and it's attuned to our body. And I like to think about our bodies like a car. Mm-hmm. So my car right now gets me to A, B, and C. But have I changed my oil? It could probably use an oil change. Do I need to get my fluids checked? Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. But your car will still drive you to A, B, and C, even if it's running low on fuel, just not at its best. And that's how our bodies operate. We still wake up in the morning, we still go to work, but maybe there's a better way to get up for work. Maybe you could have more energy. You would be balanced. You would feel in alignment with yourself. So our bodies act the same way. We need a tune-up to operate at our best. And that's what the sound bowls do. They get your energy back into balance, back into alignment. They get you tuned up, and so that you can operate and show up in the world as your best.
There you go. My mechanic says my body's going for a full overhaul. That needs to go to that crusher thing. I could probably use that crusher thing.
Yeah.
But I've seen that. I've seen that on TikTok. I think I've seen a
Yeah.
guy, and he's got like all the bowls, and he's making
All the
music and
bowls.
stuff. And there's definitely, it's probably easier to meditate with that sort of thing playing, isn't it? Where
Absolutely.
yeah.
A lot of my clients prefer sound bowls over regular meditation because they are able to easily go. But the bowls alter your brain waves. They take you from that anxious state of mind to that deep state of rest. And so I have at least one person that falls asleep in my classes.
That would be
And
me.
I also have clients that book a session just to fall asleep because within 5 minutes of playing the bowls, they're snoring.
When I had my three major companies I was doing at the same time, I had to get a massage every week, like a good, I
Yeah.
think it was a 2-hour massage I would get.
Wow.
And yeah, if I didn't, my employees would be like, "You didn't get your massage this weekend, did you? Because you're being a real bear." And I'm like, "No, I didn't." And I fall asleep. There's something about rubbing my face. If when the masseuse gets to my face, I will always fall asleep. Maybe because
Yeah.
there's a lot of stress here up in this bridge area,
A lot of
in your eyes
pressure.
and
Yeah.
brain pressure and the kill pressure voice.
Exactly.
So
That goes away.
yeah, it goes away. Well, I fall asleep, so yeah, it kind of has to. Hopefully, I don't wake up with it. There's multiple personalities. You never know which one you're going to wake up with. We've all been there. But no, I would fall asleep, and part of it, part of it, I think, was from the touch. But
Yeah.
just relaxing and being at peace, and they usually have that great Enya music going on in there.
Absolutely.
And so it's just like an atmosphere of peace. I don't know why they never play like heavy metal headbanging music in there, but maybe
Yeah, I've
that's
always
why.
wondered the same,
Yeah,
but I think that's why. I
yeah.
think we
Oh.
can say that.
I get some peace from listening to Metallica, but
Yeah.
my psychiatrist says it's probably not good for me. Do you want to give us another reading from one of the poems of your
Sure,
book, a sample, if you will,
absolutely.
tease out?
Okay. So this one's from the shore as well. I'm feeling very lovey, so I'm going to read lots of
All
my
right.
love poems.
Okay.
Our love, strong enough to create tsunamis that wash away disease, strong enough to create mountains that put an end to violence, strong enough to create earthquakes that put an end to famine, strong enough to create hurricanes that rid poverty forever, strong enough to erupt a volcano that puts an end to war.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Thank
That's powerful
you.
love right there.
Very powerful love.
Yeah. If you can end war, if we all just get everybody to love each other, that would definitely end the war, and the world would be so much better place. I think John Lennon spoke about that.
I think it's such a powerful thought to have. Like,
if we can have more love in the world, no more
Yes.
wars. I'm kind of tired of this Ukraine Russia thing, so we can get rid of that. What other you're going to start your journey into shamanism? Tell us about that. You're not going to be that January 6th guy with the horns in your thing storming the Capitol, right?
Maybe no.
It's a shamanism. Oh, wait. Just register to vote, people.
Never say never.
There you go. So what is shamanism? How do you start your journey on shamanism, and what do you hope to achieve?
So the topic is very broad, but to keep it very simple, it is your connection to the earth, connection to your soul, connection to others, and you use all kinds of different healing modalities to heal yourself and others. It's knowing that you are part of something bigger in this world, that we are all connected, and it's really dropping your ego and knowing that if you operate from a place of love and respect and care, that the world has so many open possibilities for you. So there's lots of different ritualistic things that you can do with shamanism. I don't know if maybe you've heard of shaman drumming. It's a drum. Yeah. So there's a drum, and then you do it so many beats per second. And that actually gets you into a different state of mind. It alters your brain waves as well. And they call it shaman journeying, where it's a different form of meditation. But it allows people to take a journey into themselves, out into the world in a very deep meditative way. Every time I do shaman drumming, I get it done, and I also do it to others. they do leave that session feeling very deeply grounded with themselves. They have a deeper idea of who they are in this world at a soul level, at a higher self level. So to sum it up, it's just the connection to know that everything has a spirit. We have a spirit. We are souls living in this human 3D world, but there's so much more to ourselves and the world.
Wow. I'm looking at some of these shaman drums online, and they're amazing. Yeah,
They
I think you've
are.
probably seen people play these.
Absolutely. It's very deep and powerful. Yeah.
And probably helps people connect better with their emotions. I mean, there's probably a lot of people that need to maybe connect better with themselves, do some internal work.
Yes, I agree.
It seems like we live in a society now where everybody does external work, or they just think that watching the Kardashians will fix everything or something,
right.
which it'll make it worse.
I mean, watching the Kardashians might take them to a disassociated level where they don't want to think about their own problems. But for me, I want to do the deep healing work. I want to tap into myself and see, why is this bothering me? Why is this causing me feelings of anxiety and stress? I like to find out the why to who I am and why I react to certain things. I like that stuff.
You disassociation, you give me another new word. I learn all sorts of stuff. That's why we do the show. It's just so I can learn some stuff, because I flunked second grade.
That's okay.
Well, okay. All right. I accept that.
Yeah, that's okay. You're here. You're doing great things. So
yeah. I just can't spell anything or whatever. I don't know.
That's okay. I've understood everything. I've understood everything you've said so far. So spelling is not needed.
There you go.
Now.
Well, you're the only one so far. It's like my mom will say, Chris, I love you, and I'll be like, well, you're the only one. But no, disassociation. It seems like that's a form of escapism. Right.
Absolutely.
Where we're on TikTok or on Instagram or, social media or watching the news. And, it's okay to watch the news, and it's probably okay to watch the Kardashians, at least for, I don't know, long enough to turn it off. Yeah. But, that's right. We're disassociating, and we're not dealing with maybe issues that we have. Do you find that this a lot of people that have childhood trauma, because we've talked a lot on the show and had a lot of authors on, a lot of psychiatrists on, and it's interesting to me how childhood trauma, you can see the map of the fallout through their life and how it shapes them, and it can impact their journey, both good and bad. Do you find a lot of people with some of the techniques that you use, it really helps them with their trauma that they've experienced?
Absolutely, especially with hypnosis. A lot of people would like to find out if something happened to them when they were little. Because if you think about your subconscious mind, it holds on to every single memory, even from birth. So it remembers everything, but our conscious mind doesn't. It allows us to not tap into that. So a lot of people will get hypnosis to see if an event really did happen to them as when they were a child. And a lot of people have walked away with, wow, that did happen to me, but they forgot because they disassociated themselves. They left their body in that moment so that they didn't feel the pain of what was happening to them. And so that causes them to forget that it even happened. And then with hypnosis, it's called age regression, where we take them back to that certain point in that time where it happened. And if they're ready, a lot of clients have come to me and they think that they're ready, but then they find that they're not ready, that this is too scary to address right now, maybe later. And some people do come to me, they're like, I'm ready to find out. And they do. They leave with that peace of mind that happened to me, and now I can start to heal from that.
Yeah. Identifying the issue is a big journey to fixing the problem.
Yeah. Now that they know it and they're aware of it, they can start to rewrite their story. That doesn't have to be what they carry for the rest of their lives.
There you go. It doesn't have to be your story. Once I saw a thing with Oprah once, and a guy had been assaulted by a police officer growing up as a child. And normally a police officer is someone that, usually is someone you trust. But he said the biggest problem for him was he held in the poison he held in affirming it for so long. He kept it as a secret. And he said something that was really powerful. He said something about how the thing that the thing you keep inside you poisons you or something, or letting the poison out is part of the healing. And so helping people identify stuff, or maybe giving them pathways to resolve it and go through a reconciliation of feeling, to where they can, like you say, rewrite their story a better way.
Absolutely. And I like to let people know that they have the power to do that. I am just here to be your guide, to help you along the way, but they have the power within them. Our bodies are always talking to us too. For me, if I have a headache, it's normally because I'm taking on way too much information that I have the capacity to do at that moment. Whether I'm tired or I had a lot going on that day, or if I'm carrying some pain in my shoulders, it's probably because I'm carrying too much. Whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally, there's a load that I'm carrying that I need to either set down for a second or ask for help. And so a lot of things that I do is helping people listen to the body, the messages that come to them, and helping them realize that they have the power to heal themselves.
That is awesome. My body usually talks to me too, and it's like, feed me.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, feed me Taco Bell. Usually I'm doing intermittent fasting in the mornings up until a certain point of day. We try and keep to a 16-8. I refer to my multiple personalities. We try to keep to a 16-8. And so somewhere in the day it's feed me Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell.
Yeah. And then later my body talks to me in other ways, at the other side. Get it out of me.
Or is it the kill?
That is the kill. The two of them walk hand in hand. Taco Bell regret and kill. And I think it's using my toilets. It's never mind. Anyway, so what can you so good at poems? How long have you been writing poems? If you've written a lot of poems, what's the future for maybe another book?
Yeah, I've always wrote poetry since grade school. I think it was maybe 3rd or 4th grade. It was English class, and one of our assignments was to write a poem. I didn't think that I had it in me. I'd never really dabbled in poetry up until that point. But the reaction that my teacher had after she read my poetry had a great effect on me. We're growing up as children. That's when it's make or break. Someone could tell you something and that will stick with you for the rest of your life. So seeing her reaction to my poem really sparked something in me. So I'm like, that felt good. I want to write more. And so I just started tapping into all kinds of things, what I wanted to write about: butterflies, oceans, the world, myself, school. And it wasn't until maybe 8th grade, high school, I started tapping into the power of poetry, when I started to actually experience traumatic events and things that made me upset. And because I was so sensitive, I didn't know how to process all of those emotions. So I turned to writing. I'm like, well, maybe poetry will help me release what I'm thinking or feeling. And it did. So really, poetry was movement for me. And I haven't stopped. Poetry is very healing. It's very moving. It's a whole language in itself. Reading and writing poetry is like learning another language. And that's very intriguing to me. And I definitely plan on writing more books. Obviously, I have Ocean that's out, but I am working on my next poetry book. And I plan on writing more, absolutely.
Yeah. You should write one with Metallica. And then it's a heavy metal headbanging meditation.
It'll be completely opposite. Yeah.
No one's done that before. All those meditation places, yoga places you go to, they're all like peaceful and music. They should have one where it's like headbanging can be peaceful too, or something.
So I'll send you the invite and you'll come, right?
I definitely will. Okay. I'm looking for them on tour right now. But no, there's a place for it. Like the other day, I put on some Metallica and I was like, no, I'm not in the mood for this. I need something a little more peaceful and calming.
Yeah.
But I like this morning centering I'm doing, and I'm highly recommended to people. I think now I'm only 4 days in. I don't know. I could bring out the kill voice somewhere. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But the whole centering thing, especially when I sit down at my desk and I was listening to I think an audio book, The Confident Mind. We had him on the show, and he talks about how athletes will kind of mentally walk through their activity or whatever they're achieving, like Olympiads and stuff. And so they do a lot of mental preparation and walk through stuff. So being able to sit down at your computer and just kind of play some piano music and kind of, I feel like the world comes at me now. And I have a frame now where I'm like, bring it on.
Yes.
And, before it just kind of seemed like I just get ripped apart. Like, oh, we're going to drag you over here. We're going to drag you over there. And so having a calming, stay present frame is really important.
Absolutely. And I think what you made a good point is that ultimately you are in control of what happens to you, through you, around you. If you do not wish to be pulled in that direction, you won't let anyone do that. But oftentimes we're either people pleasers, we're yes people, we don't want to upset anybody, so we do the things that we don't feel like doing. But when you are so centered and grounded with your truth and with who you are, I'm not going to let you pull me that way. I need a minute, or I will respond to that email when I get to it. You don't have to feel rushed to respond, to send that link, to upload that episode. You just do it when you feel like you are at a good place to do it. And
I love
important.
that. I love that because I open up the email. There's 50 million people that need answers, and what's going on? And you're trying to answer all the emails, and you're like, "Are you serious, dude? You just wrote me that email? Like, did you not read the prior email? Like,
right?
We told you what it was, and you go read there's. I love emails because there's like a proof of thing.
Yes.
Like somebody
Paper
wrote me the
trail.
other day. Yeah, somebody wrote me the other day, and then they didn't answer that email. And then they wrote me again. They're like, "Hey, I need this answer, eh?" And I'm like, "Can you go like back to the email I sent you that you didn't read?" Oh, yeah, there you go.
I love it.
Yeah,
Love a good paper trail.
Yeah, just you spend your morning sometimes just looking at people on email, going, "I'm going to choke you to death." Don't do that.
Kill.
Yeah, kill.
I know.
Kill.
I see where it comes from now.
It answers emails. So sitting down and getting that whole presence, and I feel like I'm in the cockpit of my life and I'm in control. And it's like, okay, I have frame now. Let's see what's on the emails, and you just have a different response, less anxiety too.
Yeah.
Like I used to have email anxiety when I open my email, going, "Oh man, my phone's been blowing up. Somebody got some fire I need to put out." So there you go. This is quite the journey we've been on, and definitely meditating and healing to people. Anything more you want to tease out about what your future efforts are up to?
Yeah, so definitely stay tuned for more books on poetry, and they're all going to be different in their own way. Very healing still, because no matter what I do and no matter how I show up in the world, it's going to give people hope and inspiration and show them that they are a very liberated person in control. So definitely more poetry is in the future, more healing. I just want to show people that you can show up and be yourself. Show up, be authentic, be vulnerable. If I could travel and teach people the power of their own inner self and their own inner determination, I would love that. But for now, I'll do it behind my screen or in my communities, however I can. But definitely just know that you are important. Know that you are needed in this world, and everyone has their own special, unique gift. And if you haven't found yours yet, go out there and have fun. And I promise you will find it. If you let go of that expectation of, I'm not special, I'll never find anything, there's nothing there for me, there is something for everybody. I can promise you that.
There you go. Well, that's a beautiful message. It's been wonderful to have you on today, Anastasia. Give us your .com so people can find you on the interwebs.
Yes, summersolacehealing.com. That's summer like the season. Solace, SOLACE, healing.com.
There you go. Thank you very much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
There you go. Thanks to our audience for tuning in. We appreciate it as well. And hopefully you've checked out some better ways to process your mind and stuff like that. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, youtube.com/Chris Voss, linkedin.com/Chris Voss. And we're trying to post stuff over on TikTok and be cool, but it's not working. So support us over there and maybe it will catch on. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys next time. And that's